You could take him right as power.
Whew, not too shabby. Let's keep this up, everyone.
Come forth, Royal Soul! Tycoon!
Right on target. Nice one,
Awesome
Strohl.
souls, do your thing!
They're down. Right? They have to be. Right?
I owe you. That helps us out. Right as power. Has it come to this? My world!
Yo, what's up everyone? Let's talk about the Merchant/Tycoon lineage. This is the archetype that I use for 90% of my playthrough. And I think it's not a hot take to say that this is probably the best lineage/archetype in the game. So I wanted to show what's the best combination of inherits plus equipments you can put on this archetype. However, if I am being completely honest, my boy Baines beat me to it and he already made a fantastic build video. But I wanna go a bit more in detail about what makes this archetype so broken and how it blows every other archetype out of the competition. And yeah, that includes the Prince. If you find this video useful, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So, starting off with the inherits, the Tycoon heavily takes advantage of having multiple of the same lineage present in your active team, and thanks to having critical trait and almighty boost built in, you can fit other passives in your inherits that you would otherwise never put there. The most important out of all of them, in my opinion, is Diligent Discipline. This will give you a flat 30% increase in crit rate if you have 4 of the Merchant lineage present in your team. Considering this is paired with Gold Rush with a 35% base crit rate and Critical Trait which doubles it, that would make Gold Rush have a base of 100% crit rate. Though, I will have to say that this is only 100% base. If the enemy has more luck than you, you will have likely a bit less than 100%. Damage-wise, the skill I consider to be the best inherit is Sense of Kinship. This is yet another mono-lineage passive. This skill multiplies your weapon attack power, which is really important when you consider that in Metaphor, weapon power greatly affects damage on all attacks. Since this skill is not additive, contrary to most passives in this game, it will have a greater impact on damage, generally. For the next inherit slot, I think Revenge Seeker would be the best. The way this skill works is that the less HP you have, the more damage you will deal. I will put the formula on screen because I can't precisely remember how it goes, but yeah, it's pretty powerful. Having 80% HP is already stronger than Almighty Boost, and having 70% HP or less is already stronger than a full power hit up. And talking about hit up, that would be my 4th inherit slot. Thanks to this passive being the only one left that can give us more than 10% boost, it's probably the best option we have left. This is technically an equivalent to Almighty Surge, which doesn't exist in this game. If you could tell, the main issue is that we don't have any sort of support skills for this build. But don't worry, I have that covered as well. Thanks to the inheriting system, you can put a full kit of support moves in a Tycoon, and the other 3 can remain as damage party members. In a way, it's even better to do it this way, because the support Tycoon can have front boost, which affects the entire party, not just them. So it can be a support and provide more damage for the DPSs as well. And this is not even mentioning that this is almighty damage. So even if some enemies do resist almighty, nothing is stopping you from just spamming gold attack, fortune slots and gold rush. In fact, I dare say that this is probably the most optimal strat for the entire game, which is so funny because Atlus clearly intended us to not use Merchant as much, seeing money as a valuable resource. They even locked Tycoon after the Prince, but even then, the base Merchant is powerful enough to pretty much steamroll the entire game. And again, this would make sense if money was a hard resource to get. But then you see how easy it is to farm money in the overworld using the same archetype. Which is so funny. But yeah, this lineage is broken. Now, let's move to the gear. The merchant lineage has probably one of the best equipment lineups in the game. Starting off with the weapon selection, the merchant has many weapons which raise the cost and power of money skills. But by far the best one is the Fortune God Abacus. This one straight up triples the usual cost of money skills, but also adds a 200% additive booster to the skill power. As I said previously, money is a very easy to farm resource, so the triple cost is hardly a deal breaker. Moving on to armor, there are a few good options that come to mind. Since this archetype is weak to fire, you can use the Cardinal Dragon Raiment or the Flame Seal Corselet, which straight up null fire. But in case you don't have those, you can use the Inferno Rock Cuirass. If you don't mind having an exposed weakness, you can also use the armor that raises your luck. As for the sub-armor, you can use the Berserker's Gauntlets or the Runic Handguard, which both raise your strength and give you Auto Tarukaja. And finally, the accessory. This one is way more important than I thought. The best one for this lineage is definitely the Gambler's Manual. This accessory straight up doubles your crit damage, making it deal 3x damage instead of the usual 1.5. But sadly, you can only get one of these per game cycle. So for the rest of your teammates, the next best thing would be the Herald's Banner. This accessory raises your damage by 1.2x whenever you are in the front row, and this is still very good. Such a shame we can only get one Gamblers per run. But yeah, that pretty much covers up the equipment for your Tycoons, except for maybe the Support Tycoon. In that case, you can play around with the sub-armor and accessory. But other than that, I think that pretty much covers everything. Many thanks for watching the video and listening me nerd about an archetype, and now I will leave you with a clip of me destroying the super boss with money. Peace!
What? What's happening?
This should work. Face me! How about this?
Tycoon! Nice hit! That was
Are you
perfect.
prepared? Here I go!
Nice, Basilio!
You
That's
power of
That's
kings!
the
Let us clean up this mess.
I'll use it! That helps. I owe you. That helps us out. I call upon royal power within!
Nice one, Strohl! They're down! Right? They have to be! Right?